And we're live. Welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance, everybody. I'm Christopher Bell, your favorite YouTuber, and this is my buddy Jay Nagy. Go subscribe to his channel, you freaking lazy losers. It's not hard. Anyway, welcome, Jay. How you doing?
Good.
So I heard some stocks went down yesterday. What was that all about?
Crappy stocks reverting to the mean. Well, Corsair is not the worst thing I've ever seen. I think when I looked at it, it was like close to fair value. So it was like, I mean, it's still not a buy if it's close to fair value, but I didn't think it was the worst thing that I've seen. And then, you have very good food company, which you're probably right on. The CEO has probably contacted all these moronic YouTubers, and then they did a pump and dump. Well, not pump and dump, but pump and stock.
Because they literally they probably try to get as much money as they possibly could by elevating the share price. Because I've seen it consistently where you have these different advertisers. Like all the YouTube videos will drop for the same exact stock at the same freaking time, all pumping up the stock. So I think that there's some kind of relation there with a very good food company. This was totally planned.
Well, if you go back, it might have been very good food company. It was one of those companies, Beyond Meat. Sven Carlin did a video where he talked about how they contacted him and they wanted him to push the stock. And he was all he said is, I'm just making you guys aware that this is going on. He said, I'm not going to, because he went through the reasons why. He said this stock was basically trash, but the guy's a lot more polite than we are, where we'll just say it's trash. He'll go, it doesn't have a place in my portfolio.
Yeah, Sven's very, professional, because isn't he still a professor or something like that?
I mean, I don't know that you're ever not a professor. I don't know if he's a working one.
Oh, that's true, I guess. It's like you're always a soldier or an airman or whatever once you get out.
Well, I mean, I didn't really mean it like that. I meant that I don't know that like he got disbarred or lost his credentials or anything like that. I just meant, because I mean, I don't know how much he can really teach from the mountains of Slovakia.
I mean, with the modern age, I mean, you got Zoom and YouTube. You don't really have to have any in-person classes at all. Like the last 4 years of studying I've done, I haven't gone to a class once.
Well, dude, the thing about school is really only supposed to give you a basic outline. People take it as you're supposed to learn a good professor, though, and they're rare a lot of times in academia, will be like, I want you to know this, this, and this to get through this class. And I've designed a program to get you there. A lot of professors are like, well, you just study for this test and you leave not really knowing anything.
Like, yeah, especially if it's like a gen ed class. Like, I think it's stupid they even make people take those classes, especially after high school. But I would definitely say if you're teaching gen ed classes, you definitely want to just give students a very clear blueprint on how to pass the class.
Well, yeah, and I would say that, I mean, I went to school for finance, and I don't know what in my degree that you couldn't have hired me at a firm and taught me quicker about finance than me going through school.
They actually do that. So, like, I read a book about, how young people enter the investment banking industry, and they literally bring these kids in, and they don't have to be finance majors. They just bring them in, and they have this like 6 or 12 week course, and they just hammer all the different freaking concepts on how to, build financial models. So it definitely is a teachable thing, if you're focused within 6 to 12 weeks, as long as you have some kind of fundamental understanding of like math and stuff.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if it was me, I would just say we need to get you to a certain level of math. I mean, I don't I think that knowing how to do derivatives, which is calculus 4, I believe, I don't think that that's in any way necessary to work in the finance industry. I mean, there's nothing that you and I couldn't do. In fact, I bet I could make a better portfolio even picking individual stocks than most of these money managers. Because I'm not going to have the little sheet that they give you. Oh, these are the approved stocks where you can put your money. Like, nah, man, I'm gonna go look at some financial statements and run my own discounted cash flows and other weird ways I figure it out.
Yeah, and like retail investors, if you're patient and you can actually tolerate fluctuations, they do have the advantage of they can pick good stocks that may not perform for a long time, but they can wait it out and get rewarded. Whereas if you're a fund manager, people are like checking your results every quarter or a year. And if your fund sucks for a year, you're going to lose all these assets, and people are going to be like giving you a lot of scrutiny. So they're almost incentivized to like try to find like quick, pump and dump stocks.
Well, also the other problem with fund managers is this. Say I walk into a fund manager's office and he's like, listen, man, I just want to reassure you about Alibaba. It's going down. This is a temporary thing. China's going through some reorganization, but I'm confident the economy will be here 10 years, 20 years from now, and it'll be worth more. And I go, yeah, no, I ran the numbers at home. Whereas somebody who doesn't, and I mean, it's a small part of my portfolio. Also, I'm not going to panic anyways. If Baba doesn't work out, it sucks. I didn't get my fantasy of like a 4 or 5 banger there, but I mean, it's not going to slow me down from retiring. And the point is a person like that doesn't know that is going to walk in there and go, you moron, you put me in Alibaba and it tanked by half. Well, let me tell you though, your cost basis for it was about $220. What do you mean? So now it's down to $160. My cost, like they're not going to get all that stuff. So that's another problem with that industry is you have people that don't even. I walk around work going, hey man, a couple weeks ago you asked me about the TSP. Did you find out where your money is? No, I haven't done that yet.
No, I just want to hear more individual stock recommendations. I don't care about maxing my tax advantage accounts with low cost index funds. I just want to hear about the next penny stock that's going to 5x because somebody pump and dumped it on YouTube.
I did that. I explained that the average person to a guy is best off maxing his tax advantaged accounts, the TSP. And then this guy looked at me after 5 minutes of talking to him and goes, so what stocks do you recommend right now? I go, I don't.
Them, buddy. All of them.
I told him, I don't recommend individual stocks.
I mean, you can't. It's like, it's almost, it's not immoral, but it's like, it's just not a good practice to recommend individual stocks because you don't know what your audience is seeking for a stock. Do they want a quick pump? Do they want a long-term investment? You don't freaking know.
Well, I thought about doing that on my channel, picking some of these hype things, these hype stocks, and then just saying like, look, where this is trading now with the hype, this might not be the worst momentum trade if you have extra money, and you also understand that you're actually gambling, and that's what you're doing. You're not investing, you're straight gambling on very good food company. If you want to do it, it's not the worst thing that you could possibly do, especially if you were just going to spend $100 on betting on the football game this weekend. It's not any different.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe to some people that's cool, but I just knowing how bad the freaking company is,
I don't do it, dude. If I have extra money, like I just bought 2 more shares of Baba.
You didn't.
Mm-hmm. I did this week.
Are you dumb? It went down. You're supposed to sell it.
I'm mad that I got greedy and I thought it was going to go into like the 120s and I didn't buy anything.
Yeah, you never know how low these freaking stocks can go. I mean, especially with a shell company like Alibaba.
I didn't think that it could revert to its gram number. Its gram number is 80. But now I'm not 100% sold that it can't hit its gram number.
Dude, it could go to like $5. I mean, you don't freaking know how bad things could get. Like it could go to like $1.
Dude, if that stock went to $5, I'd be like, I'm gonna drop like $500 this month on it.
Yeah, you $500, you'll be a millionaire in like a couple of years.
Yeah, dude.
Did you hear the TSP is going to be allowing people to invest in mutual funds? Like you could pick up between 5,000 different mutual funds in the TSP.
Well, that's good. I'm going to go VT.
If they give us access to it. I don't know if they're going to give us that, but if VT Wax is an option, then I'm going 100%.
So
I don't know if we're going to have ETFs in there, but VT Wax is the equivalent.
So no, I know. I have it. Yeah. That's what's in my my Roth. I just got Columbus Day. I called into Vanguard and I go, yo, get rid of that U.S. growth fund and put it all into VT Wax. So my portfolio now is the mid cap, the REIT, and VT Wax.
Seems pretty legit to me. As long as you got VT Wax in there, you're good.
Well, VT Wax is by far the vast majority of it anyways, too. So, yeah, but if the TSP goes to that, I'm just going total world market and I'm done. I'm just going to hammer that thing.
Yeah, that's the one weakness of the TSP is you can. And if y'all don't know, it's the federal government's or the Army military's 401k. And the big downside is that they don't allow you to invest in emerging markets like our enemies, like Russia, China. So you're missing out on you're not getting the full VT experience in the TSP. You can get the majority of the world, but not the full world.
Yeah, and I mean it's I understand why they do it because during the Cold War, you just couldn't invest in Russia. The government wouldn't let you.
It makes sense. It's like why are we have these enemies or these rivals? Why are we allowing our federal employees to invest in them?
Well, yeah, and here's the thing. I mean, with China, I know what China's end goal is. They want to be the world's premier power, but how much they really care about the United States in its own sphere of influence, I don't really know on the Chinese government. I don't know that China has ambitions like militarily that extend to the rest of the world. I think they have financial interests that extend to the rest of the world. And even if they do become the preeminent superpower, I really don't know how much that's going to affect America.
Yeah, what are they going to do? Much. We probably won't be if the dollar doesn't stay as the reserve currency, we won't be able to borrow as much debt, but it's probably a good thing.
Yeah, and because I don't know how much President Xi is going to be like, listen, to the people of America, if you don't toe the Communist Party lines, we're going to come over to America. Because I think there's a good portion of people in the interior of the U.S. that are like, yeah, I kind of wish you would.
Please do.
Yeah, with that threat, whenever you threaten somebody, you kind of got to have something that I'm afraid of. Not really that afraid of that.
Yeah. I don't think China's going to be invading America anytime soon. I wouldn't worry about that.
I don't think much like America, much like the U.S., China's drowning in debt. I'm betting on their middle class through BABA, but the government, it just came out. They have entire ghost cities over there.
Oh, yeah. It's not all petals and roses and flowers over there. There's definitely some issues, and they can be a lot less transparent than the United States, so they can easily cover up any bad things, but that's the risk you take. You want to own the world, you got to own everything, even China.
Well, and also, I mean, as long as we don't let woke people steal the government and then put in totalitarian viewpoints, our intellectual property, China can steal. That's fine, though. The fact of remains with an open society, especially in the United States, it breeds so much intellectual property that you're not going to be able to steal it all.
Yeah. It's a pretty smart model, though. It's like they don't really have to innovate. They just have to steal from us. So they're only like very slightly behind us. But like, oh, we have, 4 or 5 times the number of people. So even if we are a little bit behind, it doesn't matter.
I don't know how much stock I put into this, but there was a guy who just quit the Biden administration, and he said he was going to be in a important cabinet position, head of AI. And he said, he's like, I'm out. He's like, you guys don't want to listen, and we're 20 years behind China. I don't know how much I believe that, but I think China is a lot more advanced in artificial intelligence than we're currently giving them credit for.
Yeah, I mean, they're not dumb. They actually have the motivate. They're like the underdog. They have the motivation to take us down. And they actually have, like, I think their workforce is, more productive, or it will be in the future. I mean, think about how many morons we have in the United States, that have liberal arts majors, student loans. There's so many idiots here. And then you compare that to China, where I think they have more of an emphasis on like actually getting technical skills and education. I think they're going to eventually stomp us.
Well, didn't you know that math is not racist?
I did. That's why if I'd known that before I started my accounting degree, I wouldn't have done it.
Me too, with finance. I was under the impression when I went to school that math was the universal language that describes the universe. But what do I know? What do I know? What are those behind you? Is that some sort of math?
Yeah, your YouTube's going to get deleted. It's like, what happened to Jay? He was doing so well, and then he was just gone.
Just gone. No, that was the greatest question asked, was when I was doing Jeremy's guy, and he goes, so what's that in the background? And I'm like, it's just math. I just have a hobby of doing math.
Jeremy, I wonder what the fallout's going to be from all this stuff. Because like the thing is, even if some of his plays work out, his fans don't have the freaking patience to wait for those stocks to go up. I don't think they do. So like, Jeremy's okay,
Jeremy's going to be. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no,
sorry,
go ahead.
But Jeremy's going to be fine right up until whenever stupid Jerome Powell gets off his butt and stops quantitative easing, so I can buy stocks on the cheap. So once everything crashes, then that's when he's going to get his reckoning. But this is just a minor thing. Like, I could come in and say, well, it's not really fair to judge him right now because it's not a long enough time frame. Like, I agree with you. He's a moron. But I'm just saying, if I'm playing the devil's advocate, I can come to you and I can say, and it's the same thing I realistically said about Meet Kevin, where we were talking about him and something was down. Yeah. I changed it to Meet Skin. Meet Skin.
Meet Skin Kevin.
But it's the same thing I can realistically say, or I could say about anybody. You could have a garbage portfolio and somebody could be mocking it. How's your portfolio now? And I could go, well, that's not exactly fair to the individual. I agree. Their portfolio is hot garbage and it's not going to perform well over 10 years. But this is the thing I say to anybody. Don't even talk to me in 5 years. Talk to me in 10 years about your portfolio.
Yeah, that's the sad thing about YouTube is like you literally can just have a bunch of garbage stocks, and even if they go down, you can just say, oh well, it's just a temporary setback. And while the years go by, you're just collecting all that ad revenue, grifting off garbage stocks that are going to screw people. And by the time you're proven wrong, it's already too late for your fans, and you've already made enough money to where you're rich. That's the whole freaking scam.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at Andre Geek. I'm frugal and I live below my means. Oh, let me buy this $1 million house. But he made a lot of money. Okay, well, here's me in the exact same position. Well, I've just been crushing VT wax. I'm going to buy a house. How much are you going to spend? Same amount of money I spent on this house. Not going to buy a bigger house.
If I was to get a bigger house, because like I'm in a townhome community, so they have 3 bedrooms and they have 5 bedrooms here. So if I ever became super freaking rich off YouTube, I would maybe move into a 5-bedroom townhouse in my neighborhood because with more freaking kids. But that's the only thing I would do. I wouldn't go buy a freaking mansion because you don't know how long the YouTube thing's gonna last.
Well, that's reasonable what you're doing. So if it worked out for me, let's say, 3 years from now, I'm making really good money on YouTube, whatever it is, $500K, $1 million. I might upgrade, but the only upgrade would be more land. Like for me, I'm like, I don't need anything more than a 2-bedroom house because it's me. And then, my mom and my stepdad come into town. So I'll have to deal with them and be annoyed for a few days. So, but they got the guest bedroom. And in all reality, if I get sick of having house guests and they're like, hey, can we stay at your house? Like, oh, so sorry. I converted the spare bedroom into a study. My bad.
Yeah, but
if you want to sleep on hardwood floors, that's fine.
If I ever come down there, I'm sleeping on your floor.
I wouldn't recommend it, but okay.
I'll bring babies, screaming babies. I'll have like little cribs set up, and I'll just sleep on your floor. It'll be a wonderful time.
Dude, the only comfortable part of my house, like Nate came over and we did his podcast, and he goes, "Did you don't have anywhere to sit down besides these 2 chairs?" I go, "Yeah," and he goes, "But shouldn't you make it more comfortable for guests?" I go, "No, I want you to leave."
Yeah, screw the guests.
I want you to want to leave
based on guests.
Yeah, it's like so. But yeah, that would be my main thing. My main thing is like, even if I made a bunch of money on YouTube, I would be afraid that it was going to get yanked out in front of me, and I would be like, I have to save all of this money just in case, so that I can live off
your entire life like that. I mean, even if you're like killing it, you should always assume, well, this may not last forever, and until you're financially independent, you should be saving until you can get there, and then once you get there, okay, then you can maybe splurge a little bit more, but until then, it doesn't matter. Make extra money and save it.
If I was making $10 million a year, dude, I would end up working for 1 year. But I mean, even if I got into my baller stage, I don't really see myself spending more than $500K in a year. I really don't know what I would spend the money. I have such modest tastes. I really don't know what I would spend the money on. Like, well, dude, you should put some Hunter Biden art in your house. Like, yeah, but his art's stupid.
Does he actually have art?
He's selling it. Like, this is like no corruption here, nothing to look at here. Like, mysteriously, like a C-level artist is selling his paintings for $500,000 to mysterious buyers that can't be named. There's no corruption there.
Oh, wow. He's so brilliant. I can totally see. Jesus Christ. Are people really buying that crap for $500,000?
Yeah. No, that's his stuff is in art galleries.
Somebody says spend money on truck stop prostitutes. I could actually see him going down to a truck stop, just to get a prostitute. Now, I told you the story of when I went to DC for training.
What are you guys talking about? If I had that kind of money, I'm getting nothing but high-class hookers.
Well, you might find some of those down at the truck stop.
No, I'm going wherever you go to the hooker confidentials. I'm getting like high-class 23-year-old call girls. I'm not going down to the truck stop.
So you're going to the truck stop now, but if you ever make your money, you're not going to.
Yeah. I mean, I'm poor now. I'm going to get those lot lizards.
Yeah. Yeah. When I was in DC, my hotel was right next to Hunter Biden's old haunt. It was like a weird, crappy strip club where they couldn't even take off their bras. It was so weird. And apparently they're like, oh, yeah, Hunter Biden came here all the time and he would like store cocaine and stuff. was like, oh, that's interesting.
Well, this is the one thing. This is the one thing that people do forget. This is going to be my one quick defense of Hunter Biden. When he was a kid, he suffered a traumatic brain injury. Now, I don't know what effect that had on him, but Roseanne Barr, who's one of the greatest comedians of all time, same thing. So like Sam Kinison, there's a book called My Brother Sam. I haven't read it yet, but I just listening to Rogan, he always talks about it. But Sam Kinison was like a reserved, quiet child. And then he had an accident as a kid where he got a traumatic brain injury. And from then on out, he was just a wild man, just impulsive. It's the same thing you see with fighters. I know MMA fighters, like some of them that didn't make it very far. You have to be careful about what you say to them when they're drinking because they have zero impulse control.
Jesus Christ.
I've seen them beat the crap out of people where I'm like, dude, it wasn't that serious, man, that you needed to just beat the ever-loving crap out of that
with people like that. It's not worth the risk of getting attacked.
It wasn't like we were on the phone together. It was just the bar that I used to hang out with. There was 2 guys in there that actually fought professionally. And I always kept him at kind of an arm's length because I'm like, I don't want this guy beating the ever-loving crap out of me.
Yeah, even if you're like twice their size, like if they fight all the time, they're going to be way better than you. They're going to stomp you probably.
The one guy was like 5'4" and 140 pounds, and he'd beat the ever-loving crap out of me if we ever got into a fight.
Yeah,
I mean, it wouldn't even be a fight. I threw a sloppy-ass punch at him, tried to slip, and he would have hit me 6 times.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that, Jay. If we ever drink together, I'm just going to randomly attack you if you make fun of Baba.
Well, you're
imagine we're at a bar with like Jeremy and all them, and like we had a freaking brawl over tattooed chef stock or something.
Well, I'm going to leave Jeremy to you because I think he's got weight on me, but I'll take Kevin, Andre Jeek, and Graham on at the same time. What happened?
Whoa. Interesting. I don't know what happened there.
Anyway, but yeah.
Well, there was that video of Graham and his girlfriend, and it was like looking at Graham's life. His girlfriend is like literally twice as tall as him. Like not even joking.
But I'm just saying, like Jeremy might have too much weight. I don't know. I'd have to meet him in real life. I might look at him and be like, oh, this dude's on. Huh?
I saw like a bio of him. I was reading a bio, and they say he's 6'3". I mean, I could see it.
Yeah, So I don't know, I don't know how much he weighs. Like if I get the waist or the leg with a takedown, he's boned at that point. But it's a big if because he's got reach on me. I'm only 5'11".
Well, remember, he used to be a track star in his community college, so he's probably athletic, got long reach. He might put up a serious fight. And he's got that spike, he might stab you with it.
If you've never been grabbed, it doesn't matter unless you're vastly low. There's a dude at work who's like 6'5" and 300 pounds. And I talk to him, but I'm always like, I couldn't even get this guy's leg and get him down. He's just too big. Like, that's how I think. I'm like, there's nothing I can do. I got to run away from this guy and hope that I have better cardio than him because currently I've been smoking. Otherwise, this is going to pull me apart.
Well, if you're fighting somebody, you either fight them because you're bigger than them or you run away and throw rocks at them. That's always my strategy. If they're bigger than you, you run away and they can't catch you, and then you just, pelt them with rocks.
I like that strategy, but you left out getting the high ground.
They can't
I want to be up above them so that even though they're running far away, I can still throw the rocks and hit them from an obscene distance as they're running away.
Well, here it's like flat, super flat here in old East Coast Virginia. It's pretty flat where you're at too, isn't it?
Dude, Florida's like main elevation is like 4 feet above sea level.
Yeah,
like the highest point.
So yeah, there's no high ground unless you run up like on a building or something.
Yeah, I mean, I was just being silly. I wasn't really planning on attacking
You
anybody
need to
with
think this out. You need to
rocks.
be prepared. Okay.
I'd be prepared once I get my Colt Python.
And
I'm saving.
your chimp.
Did know. Oh, well, I definitely need an attack chimp, but that's what I'm going to start. That's what I'm going to start saving up for is the new Colt Python. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's so sick. It's a revolver.
Oh no. I mean,
357.
I don't hate guns, but I'm not like a big gun buyer. Cold Python.
One that I own, like the only thing I own right now is an AR-15. Allegedly.
Allegedly. You want to do some comments real quick?
Yeah.
All right. Smooth sailing. Did you look at PCG? Yes, I did. It had massive negative operating cash flows for the last 2 years. I don't know what's going on with that company. My Corsair crashed. LOL. I'm not worried. The company is doing fine. Corsair's okay, but it's all about the assumptions. You know, what's up?
I looked at Corsair. I didn't think it was that bad. It's not for me, but it's what I say at the beginning of every cash flow I do now is like, just because a stock is not right for me does not mean it's not right for you.
Yeah, the biggest risk with Corsair is, you know, they had that massive revenue growth during the pandemic. Is that sustainable? That's the question you have to ask yourself. If you believe it is sustainable, sure, it's probably a buy all day, especially with the dip.
Well, that's where everything money got in trouble with Smith and Wesson. Remember when we were talking about it? And then you just come back to me, you're like, never mind, go look at it. And I went and looked at it. I'm like, yeah, this is a massive jump in revenue from the pandemic. And Biden's in office. How sustainable the amount of guns being sold right now are, I don't know, because you can't even get ammunition at this point. So people are just
they're all sold out now, whatever. But I don't know. I'm not confident with that stock because, like you said, initially it looks really good. You're like, oh, it's an 8-pillar stock, and you know, I think it had like low, you know, multiples and stuff. But
it had like a 6 PE or something like that.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at it, it's like, okay, there's probably a reason it has that. There's a reason stocks have low PEs, okay? Probably because there's not a lot of growth baked into them. But yeah, Smith & Wesson, I wouldn't buy. I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole right now. Funny looking in the comments, seeing Lafufu getting roasted. I need to do a video just like going through his most recent Corsair video. Because supposedly people were telling me people started selling Corsair as soon as they saw the video without even watching it. And then it turned out to be BS. I would love to see the comments on that video.
Wait, what happened?
So he put out a video, and on the thumbnail it said, or it was titled "Selling Corsair," and apparently some people went ahead and sold it just seeing the video without even watching it. But then if you clicked on the video and watched it, he didn't actually sell it. He was just saying when he would, which is when it's like $70 or something.
That's why his titles are stupid. They're just clickbait BS, man. Like we've talked about this ad nauseum. It's just taking advantage of others' ignorance, and it just pisses me off to no end.
Well, it's we're not even making a dent. Like you look at us, our combined subs are like less than 2,000, and he has almost 700,000 subscribers.
He's going to lose a lot of them when this thing corrects. Nobody can predict when it's going to correct, but I mean, think about it like this. You're looking at the S&P getting cut in half.
I would say 33%. If it goes back to the historic 15 PE, because it's at what, like 20 or 22 right now?
Is it? I don't know. It might have been. I thought it was still in the 30s.
Oh, yeah. Maybe I'm talking about forward PE. You might be right. If it's in the 30s, yeah, it would correct by half.
S&P 500 PE ratio.
Okay, so now 28.
Yeah, so let's see the exact. Let me predict the exact correction right here. I think it's going to correct for negative 46.7%. That's my prediction.
Okay, so let's just say there's a 40% correction, right?
Mm-hmm.
you got to think all these companies like Tattooed Truckers Nutsack and and you know, the Very Good Bologna Company, they're not going to be able to borrow money because I mean, even if the debt is still cheap, but even if it goes to 3%, if you look at like after the housing market crisis, banks were like, yeah, we're not lending money. So Tattooed Truckers Nutsack is just a zombie company.
Yeah, and dude, their margins are definitely shrinking. Like even when I went to Walmart, did you see that picture I put up?
No.
I went to Walmart. I took a picture. Now that they're charging $3.50 per bowl of nutsack. At Target, it was like $5. That's when I bought it like a couple months ago. I saw it at Walmart. It's at $3.50. So their margins are shrinking. Pretty.
The best part about that is like you know, like women are more diplomatic about things, and your wife's just like, this thing sucks.
Yeah. I told her, I was like, you know, honey, because I bought that and I bought like a macaroni bowl or some cauliflower BS. I was like, honey, you know, I spent $10 on this plus tax. She's like, what? And it was just like this little crappy bowl of garbage. I mean, it didn't taste horrible, but it was not worth the freaking Jesus Christ.
Dude, if it's still around when your kid's like 5, you should make him eat one so I can watch him cry on TV. And then you're like, there you go. Tattooed Nutsack makes children cry.
Yeah, I need to start making shorts again with my kid crying. All right, Baba up, Corsair down. Bogle Boys 1, Jeremy 0. Well, yeah, for now. Who freaking knows? Yeah. But in the long run, yes, Baba will be up, in my humble opinion. But you should also have VT as 95% of your portfolio. Thank you. Do you like Baba? Yes. I'm too nervous about the Chinese government. Grow some balls.
I mean, I would say to this, yeah, there's risk, man. The only reason I jumped in and bought more is I started looking at it, and I was worried about that too. And I go, I'm not going to base my entire investing career exactly around them. But I was like, if Charlie Munger trusts this, that dude is smarter than me. My numbers are panning out for me. So I'm just going to go. And like I said, if it doesn't work out, okay.
Yeah, I mean, if I get burned, it's like, okay. I mean, the amount I have invested in Baba, I would make up in about 4 or 5 months at maxing my TSP. Yeah, so it's just kind of like, okay, whatever. I mean, it'll be a small setback, but I'll be fine. Calculus 1 is derivatives, Jay.
Whatever. I haven't been in calculus since 2014, man. I'm rusty on all that.
I took calc in high school, and I completely brain dumped it.
Dude, if you I'm to the point now, my math is so bad that if you put me in college algebra, I'd have to study again.
Yes, that's what happens. I mean, if you don't do it, you're gonna forget it. I mean, it's same.
Dude, I was in the hospital over here at Bay Pines, and I'm sitting there with another bunch of veterans, and I forget what the number is. I could go back and do it, but we were talking about just ridiculous stuff, and they said we were talking about Abraham Lincoln's speech. They're like, 407 years ago. They go, how long is that? I go, oh, we could figure that out with algebra. And then they looked at me like they wanted to burn me at the stake like a witch. I was like, yeah, my bad.
Algebra garbage, man.
They're like, what are you talking about? This algebra?
Well, see, the beauty of accounting is the most you're going to do is algebra. So if you ever want to get back into math, accounting's probably the way to do it.
Well, no, I'm going to, because I don't have time right now, I'm going to get accounting for dummies to refresh my memory.
Jay, if you pay me $60 an hour, I'll tutor you.
If I buy accounting for dummies, I only paid like $6 and I can just read it.
You get a personal CPA to teach you the best methods. Okay. You can't replicate that. Come on. $60 an hour. Is it really that bad? I plan to sell next year. Sell what? I don't use Facebook, but the dip was too sweet. Thanks, whistleblower. I don't know. I'm not touching fangs.
I don't have a problem with that. I did a discounted cash flow on Facebook, and it just depends on what you assume. I had it that it was about fair value right now.
Yeah, I mean, Facebook is like the best thing, I think, to buy. Like, it's the most reasonably priced, but it can definitely keep growing. I mean, think about the whole freaking world could use Facebook. But some of the other ones I wouldn't touch.
Yeah, it started to get on what assumptions you believed. I forget. I would have to go back and look at the video, but it was something like Facebook as a $2.5 trillion market cap in 2031, which I thought was pretty reasonable. It's like an $800 and something stock at that point. So then with discounting it back, it came out to like 430, something like that. So by that metric, it was undervalued. And I think I even accounted for some share dilution in there.
Like, how bad did it crash? I didn't even really track the whole freaking whistleblower.
Not bad. It's like selling at a price to earnings ratio of like 24 or 25 right now, which is not bad for a high growth company. And that's what people mean when they say you pay more for growth. They mean you pay something in the 20s or low 30s, not 200.
Oh yeah, it's been down. So it was like a high of 382, and now it's down to 324. I mean, not bad.
I think now that you say that, I think that my entrance point was like 323 for Facebook.
You know what? Should we throw in $100 like Monday morning? What do you think?
No, I hate Facebook and I hate Mark Zuckerberg. And that's the reason why I'm not buying Facebook, even though I think I could make money on it. I just hate that dude.
I don't have any morals. I don't care. Like somebody here, he said he bought Geo Group. He only cares about cash flow. I bought Geo too. I put $500 into it. It's been up like 20%. The private prison stock.
Oh, all right. Okay. It's not even that I care about like private prisons. It's that and don't get me wrong, if Facebook dropped to like $150, I would just be loading up on it. But it's like every time I think of Facebook, I think of Mark Zuckerberg's face. And I want to
not moisturize his
with the zinc on. Just want when I saw him paddleboarding in Hawaii, I just pictured, I was like, please let Laird Hamilton come in riding a 60-foot wave and just kind of spin out and cut Mark Zuckerberg's head off with his surfboard as he just continues.
I want to see Megalodon just consume him in one bite.
Wouldn't that be epic? They're like, Fox News comes on, they're like, we have proof that Megalodon exists. And you just
Mark Zuckerberg.
You just see Mark Zuckerberg paddling, and there's a guy recording. Hey, that's Mark Zuckerberg. And Megalodon just comes up and eats him and jumps out of the water, like off the coast of South Africa, and just goes back into the water. And the world
plot twist, it spits him out later because he's so repulsive.
Yeah, so Zuckerberg gets called in front of the Senate, and Ted Cruz is like, bro, you're so repulsive, Megalodon wouldn't eat you. What's going on?
We're definitely breaking up your company now.
Yeah.
I sold Jeremy LaFufu a bulletproof vest. Could you imagine if Jeremy got like assassinated because of a very good food company?
Hold on. This is the scary thing about YouTube. It's not outside the realm of possibility that some moron loses everything and then blames the YouTuber.
Oh, that could 100% happen, man. That's why I'm like, every time I buy a stock, it's like I only put $500 into it, and it's true. But like, I know VT's not gonna go to zero, so I'm not worried about getting a.
The only problem with VT is it could crash by as much as 50 or 60%, and I don't want to have a conversation like, dude, you told me that you should buy the entire world market or total US market or the S&P, and it crashed by like 50%. What's going on, man? Like, yeah, I make that clear that can happen.
Well, I mean, if VT crashes, the whole friggin' stock, all the stocks that people are pumping are going to be down too. So You'll probably be down less than some of the other high growth stocks. So you're probably still going to be better off. Philip G, please apologize for bushing Corsair. I didn't bush Corsair. Okay. I just wanted to make fun of Jeremy. It's a solid company. Jeremy bought it. It's too expensive. Well, of course, Jeremy bought it when it was too expensive. He's an idiot.
He doesn't, bro. When you're talking about Jeremy, understand you're talking about a dude who literally said you can't plug a stock's price into a calculator to figure out how much it's worth.
You can't do it, Jay. You just have to.
You've been doing this for 6 years, and you don't know what a discounted cash flow is. Like, not a lot of people figure out a stock's price this way. I'm not saying I do it because I'm smart. It just makes sense to me. But figuring out its book value per share and then adding the cash flows in. I could see somebody going, oh, that's weird. I don't know if I agree with that. But to just not know what a discounted cash flow is, the most used metric to figure out intrinsic value in this moron. You want to talk about skews? No, I don't. I could just use assumptions.
Yeah, and I can just look at the numbers. I mean, they come out every quarter. My property tax is $1,000 a month. Holy crap. Where do you live? I pay it twice a year, keep it separate. No. Keep it there.
There's not really much you can do there, man. I mean, the most you could do is what? Treasuries? T-bills? Yeah.
Tesla
I use Tesla as my money market account right now because Tesla is really like an ETF.
Oh, which reminds me, everybody, I'm putting out a video today, if I have time, about Chicken Genius, who said you can retire off Tesla with only like a $240,000 investment right now. Go watch the video, dude. You should go react to it. It's
all
dumb.
right.
It's dumb.
All
He said,
right.
it's going to grow 20% per year, so you can pull out $4,000 a month and it'll last 30 years or something. It's dumb. So I'm like, oh, I can just retire right now. I'm good. All I have to do is buy Tesla.
All right.
Jeremy's in deep poo-poo over a very good food company. I hope it crashes more. I hope he just gets annihilated.
I really do think at a certain point when there's enough complaints, the SEC is going to step in and clap some cheeks.
I hope so. They're going to come after us, not Jeremy. Watch.
They're
I
like,
heard you guys are doing VT. You're not allowed to do that.
what if I'm in there and they're like, you don't understand. Jeremy has a role to play in society. He's a CIA asset. You don't have a right to go on YouTube and make fun.
Will you go to Millennium Money?
Millennial money.
One day.
Dude, I'll go on Millennial Money one day. I'll go on there tomorrow if they want me on, and I'll turn that conversation into an entire thing where I talk to Graham specifically. I'm like, why do you run with these morons? You're the only one with a brain here. I understand.
Jeremy's face.
When Jeremy tried to chime in, I'd be like, bro, you're stupid. I can tell you're stupid by your economy of words. Just sit over there.
I'm applaud. What do you have? I thought it was ironic that he was driving in his Tesla Plaid that he bought with his subscribers' money after he just screwed them on very good food company.
What Jeremy's going to do one day, if I ever do become big, is make fun of me. He's going to be like, this loser just drives an S10. And I'm going to be like, yeah, I bought a cheap S10 and put a 350 in it and then put racing suspension in it. And it's what I want to drive. So go screw yourself with your stupid Tesla. I don't want to drive a Tesla.
Yeah, you can tell his course is sketchy because on all his pictures, he has like nice cars in the background or stuff like that. So it's kind of trying to draw in people that want to, get rich quick and have that showy lifestyle. It's one of those scammy get rich quick schemes. You can always tell by like the images that they try to put in your face when they're advertising. Oh, 10X. Oh, nice cars, flashy life.
Well, dude, that's the biggest thing. Like to me is, I was reading this thing where it's just where I come from. Where I come from in Western New York, like if you showed up at somebody's house with a new Tesla, like in the Rochester area, they just kind of look at you and be like, I drive a pickup, dude. And they'd be like, why do you think that this car would impress me? That's what the conversation would go. Like, like if you show up in like a 1970s Bronco to you're like, dude, check out my new my 1970s Bronco. Yeah, man, you might bang that guy's wife on the way out of there. Because that's a status symbol there. A Tesla, people would look at you and be like, get that piece of crap off my property.
Yeah, it's only for like liberal, urban areas. That's where Teslas are like status symbols because they're environmentally friendly, supposedly. That's why people love, like, even around here in Virginia. I live in a pretty conservative town. There's like, I've seen like 4 Teslas, and there's like 12,000 people here. So,
I live in Tampa, which has a mix of liberal and conservative. But it's like you see, like here. It's like the bigger the truck you have, the more status you have.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is here too. Like if you're in redneck country, it's a big truck. Like I always joke, I'm gonna get one of those 18-wheeler cabs and just drive that around. It's like my Mega Man truck.
Dude, this is the thing about pickups though. I look at the new pickups and I'm like, why does anybody want to drive that monstrosity? I like little to mid-sized pickup trucks. I'm like, they're cool. They're convenient. If I need to throw some furniture or whatever in the back, it does the job. But some of these trucks now are the size of a Sherman tank. And I'm like driving in my mid-sized vehicle. And I'm like, is this dude just going to drive over me? Like,
that's the whole point. He's dominating you. He's a man. You're just a pussy. You need to get a real man's car, Jay.
Well,
anyway, here we go. Bitcoin is over.
I'll continue to talk a lot of feces about it. Answer me this question. Does it produce cash flows? Doesn't? Okay, it's not an investment.
Y'all think we really care where Bitcoin goes? We really, really don't care. It could go up to 100,000 tomorrow, but it's not worth anything. So, Bitcoin could go to $100 million tomorrow, and I'd be like, okay, it's still not an investment. When somebody says, look at Bitcoin now, here's what I picture in my head. Look at how much my Wayne Gretzky rookie card is worth. Okay, I don't care. That's our thoughts, Mark Tube. Are you a Bitcoin shill? Maybe I'll have to do a reaction video to you. Bag holders are planning to attack Jeremy's house Sunday night, Halloween.
I hope so. I'll buy him the eggs in toilet paper.
Which house? Doesn't he have like 3 houses that he bought with his fans' money and then he screwed them? Do you guys
which again tells me he's not good with money because he talks about it and he's like, well, in my opinion, this is really an investment. No, like you're not buying good investment houses in California or Arizona at this point. The market
anywhere. It's so overheated. It's crazy. Oh, the most important comment of the night, the morning, ladies and gentlemen. Tesla.
Bro, I was thinking this. I go, this is what I was thinking. What happens if one of us wins one of the Tesla in the Everything Money giveaway? And I'm sitting there with Paul and he's like, here's your Tesla. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to sell it.
Well, if it was the SUV version, I would keep it so I can because we do need to get a bigger car for the freaking kids. So I would keep the SUV, but I would sell the other one.
In all honesty, I don't know what I would do. There's part of me that's like, well, just keep it and it'd be a weekend car because it was free. And then the other part of me is like, hang on a second. You could get yourself a little badass S10 if you sold this.
Yeah, well, you could sell it, get the car you want, and then probably still have like 10, 20 grand left over to
buy VT wax.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the only reason I would keep it would be to, have room, strollers and car seats. We have a Ford Fiesta and a Ford Focus. And the Ford Focus is so small that I have to scoot the seat forward to put one freaking car seat in there. So I'm kind of cramped up in the driving wheel like this, wherever I go. So it kind of sucks.
Bro, listen to me on this. you're gonna hate this, but yeah, I think you need I think you need to suck it up and get yourself a minivan.
We're planning on doing that. Sadly,
Dude,
I'm very pissed about it, but I have to go buy a freaking car. I'm really pissed.
Why? When I was younger, when I was like 20, I used to make fun of minivans. Now I'm in my 40s and I'm like, well, if I had kids, man, it's just convenient.
Well, it's not I don't care about, getting a van. I don't care about driving a van. I really don't give a crap about my cars. Like my car got hit recently, like a very minor like fender bender. I didn't give a crap at all. The thing that I hate is that I have to spend thousands of dollars on a new freaking stupid depreciating car when I could be, maxing my 401k and whatever. That's what I don't like about it.
Well, this is when you made fun of Dave Ramsey with that call-in. I was kind of like, I want to call in with Dave Ramsey and disagree with him about leases. When he's like, yeah, and get yourself a Dave Ramsey $10,000 car. But here's the thing, man. When you get an older vehicle, you need to count on $1,000 to $2,000 a year in maintenance. It's called nickel and diming it. So, the car I have outside right now, I don't care about it. It's a lease. And I pay $225 a month for it. I don't have to worry about maintenance or any of that. So I'm paying roughly a little over $2,000 a year, about $2,500 a year for my vehicle. And I would pay that regardless of whether maybe I'd pay a little bit less with an older vehicle, but then, like you said, that older vehicle dies, and now you got to go drop another $5,000-6,000 on a vehicle. Ramsey's like, no, you just drive an older car. Well, the way leases work now, it's really not that bad of a deal.
Yeah, I was telling my wife that. I was like, I'm gonna look at the numbers. Like, would it be smarter to buy a new van, not a new van, but like a decent used van, or is it going to be smarter to lease? I'll have to look at the numbers. So whatever one is smarter financially, I'm going to do it.
Bro, you could get something like the Mazda CX-5 that I was driving. That's a nice little SUV. And I think you could probably pick one up for about $250 a month.
I'll have to look into it. I mean, because my other idea is like I'll just get a 5-year fine. I'll finance a car for 5 years. And then if I feel like paying it off early, I will. Because the interest rates I don't think are that high still. So, I mean, it's with financing, I don't want to just take 10 grand and just buy a car. Because I would rather invest that 10 grand and then I can just finance the car and freaking pay $200-300 a month and then invest the difference. So lots of options there. We'll see. Either way, I'm just freaking pissed because I don't want to buy a new car.
Bro, here's the thing. So recently, I was looking at this thing called 8 Sleep, and it like cools your bed or it heats it up. But I was like looking at the price. I'm like, this is $1,500. I was like, even though I'm a single dude with disposable income, I was like, ooh, I don't know. I was like, 8 hours of your life a day to help sleep or just invest that money. I don't know which one I want to do.
The bed's worth the investment. Okay. Like the bed is. The car, no. If you can avoid buying a freaking car, avoid the car because cars are a little screwed.
Didn't I tell you how much money I spent on my bed?
You said it was like $1,500, right? Or was it more?
This is more, dude. I spent like $2,500 on my bed. I got a ghost bed, and it's made in America, which was great, but it's got cooling gel in it. So like you get into bed and it's nice and cold, and it's memory foam, but it's like this thick.
I mean, even then, that's worth it. Like, I would 100% support. I'd rather buy like a bed like that, or even a bed for each member of my family, than buy a stupid car. I freaking hate cars.
No, I agree. That bed is actually my favorite possession now. I might give up my AR-15 over that bed. I'm like, this bed is just too comfortable, man. I get it. And
you
like,
can take my guns, that's all right. But if you touch my bed, boy,
it's war.
You're right about Jeremy and his crap stocks. Yes, I am. You are not right about Tesla. They are accelerating EV adoption. Will become earnings machine. What are your thoughts?
Fair enough. I mean, I'm not threatened by opinions that are different than mine. I just think there's a lot of factors that people are throwing into the EV market that you're not aware of. A lot of people seem to think that EVs are actually a clean alternative to ICE engines, but they're not. I got hit up on my channel by a guy from South Africa who said, when all these people are talking about EV adoptions, South Africa will be lucky to have an electrified grid by 2030. You need fossil fuels to create the plastics. You need fossil fuels to dig up the rare earth elements. Then you factor in, you have slaves working in the cobalt mines in the Congo, which with all this sustainable and ethical crap going around, how much of a dent do you think that's going to put in when when you realize there's Congolese children digging up your cobalt? I mean, there's a lot of factors that go in. The power that you're using to charge your EV is not clean. It's coming from coal-fired plants. The batteries are an environmental disaster waiting to happen. So there's still a lot of questions about that. And you're also looking at the fact that, I hate to say it, man, but I'm really starting to think that Elon Musk is a grifter. Just all the crap that he puts out, man.
100% grifter. Did you say the Giga Beer? Oh, now they're a beer company.
And it's like, if your company is everything that it's supposed to be, why are you distracting the audience with all this? Hey, look at me. I'm selling short shorts, not a flamethrower. The Giga Beer.
He's full of crap. I need to do another video about Tesla, the solar component of Tesla. It's a freaking disaster. Like, everybody thinks he's like a genius that can do anything, but it's a complete S show with that.
I'm telling you right now. That's why when we had Chris on, Chris and I did this. I did the same thing as Chris in the Air Force, electrical power production. Okay, I'm telling you right now. When you go to events and you see all those solar panels that are laid out and they're like, oh, we're powering this with sustainable power. They're not. They're powering that with diesel generators behind the scenes. Most of those electrical arrays, the solar collectors right there, they have about enough power to make a piece of toast. That's how much they collect from the sun. You have a finite amount of how much density you can pack in from the sun per square foot. And there's nothing you can do about it. You can't increase it. The technology is not powerful enough to store up enough power to power your house constantly.
Well, the Ford Lightning can power your house for 3 days, Jim. What about that?
Well, it's what you believe. It really comes down to it. But if you believe Tesla is the company of the future, I disagree. We'll have to respectfully disagree.
Electric cars are not that disruptive. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a car. It's just powered with a different energy source. It's not this new and exciting, amazing new thing like the human teleporter, where like a human teleporter that can literally move you anywhere in a second. That's disruptive to the travel industry. A car that's powered by a different energy source. I don't see how that's so disruptive that it's going to annihilate everything else. It doesn't make sense to me.
Well, everybody likes to throw around the latest buzzword, disruptive. It's a disruptive company, Amazon. Amazon's been one of the most disruptive companies of the past 20 years. They pretty much crushed every retailer except Walmart and Target. And I mean, even they're overpriced right now, the 57 PE ratio. When I did the discounted cash flows, and it got about the same thing everything money did, I have it as a $900 to $1,000 stock. I want to pick it up somewhere around $700.
Dude, the thing that solidified how overvalued Amazon was when you said the Walmart and Amazon have the same free cash flows. That's when I was like, this is
one problem with what I said, and I didn't count that in until I watched the Everything Money video on it, is Amazon spending a lot of their cash buying planes and stuff like that and cars. But overall, if you look back when they weren't doing that, their cash flows are about the same as Walmart's.
I mean, Walmart's freaking massive. It's a massive company. It's just, Amazon's the loved, adored company right now. Walmart's just Walmart. But I'm more of a fan.
If I had my brothers and they were both selling, I guess it would be kind of interchangeable which one you chose. I don't really think there's very many companies out there that are better than Walmart. And
I firmly believe Walmart is the best company in the United States. I love that company. I spend most of my money at Walmart. Almost all my money that I spend goes to freaking Walmart.
Dude, and like it's what I said before. If I had to put my money in one stock and then just disappear for 20 years, it's probably going to be Walmart. There's some other ones that I might
being around in 20 years, Daddy. You wouldn't do Target?
They'll be around in 20 years. I just think Walmart's a better. Target is kind of snooty. When I walk in there, I don't feel like I belong. I like to walk in there and see like a morbidly obese chick with some like out-of-date t-shirt on and a pair of spandex and a flip-flops talking about how she likes to go to Walmart because she doesn't have to get dressed up like when she goes to Target.
Yeah, I always wear a suit when I go to Target. The reason I hate it, Target is such a ripoff. It pisses me off. Every time I go there, I know I'm going to spend at least like 30% more for the same freaking crap. My wife likes to go there. Oh, let's go to Target. It's like, no. Walmart.
See, but you got to admire what Target did, man. They captured the middle-class housewife, making them feel upper class by going into, oh, you shop at Walmart, peasant? I shop at Target.
I shop at Target. I'm better than you. Your husband needs to make more money. You married the wrong man.
Walmart's the only company where you can go in there, get groceries, get some weird t-shirt, and then walk out with prescription eyeglasses at the same time.
It's the most amazing thing. I get my car, sir. I just got a new car tire because I had a flat. I mean, it's everything is at freaking Walmart. Everything. All right, let's do some more. UPST. What is that? Upstart? What's that? Let me see.
Be very leery of anything that's up 700% in a year.
Yeah, you kind of missed the boats, but yeah, Upstart. Isn't that a peer-to-peer lending thing? Didn't I just make a video about it's an artificial intelligence lending platform?
I was going to do Upstart. I think I looked at it on Everything Money Software, and I thought that this company was stupid.
Yeah, it's like I don't like peer-to-peer lending. I just made a video about it. It's freaking garbage. And then C Lending is internet and mobile platform, which engages provisioning online gaming services. That's interesting. No PE ratio. It's funny. Lafufu says he's a long-term investor but cries about short-term. Exactly. I say that all the time. He's full of crap.
So how you can compare a long-term investor, and I'll just throw out stock X. Let's just use Walgreens because I disagree with Paul from Everything Money on Walgreens.
Walgreens just popped, bro.
But do you see them making a video every 3 minutes? Walgreens just did this. Do this now.
Walgreens was down 3.6% yesterday. It went up, and then it went back down.
That's a long-term investor. When you're a long-term investor, when you buy a stock, I bought this stock. It dropped by 20% today. I don't care. That's when you're a long-term investor.
Yeah, people were laughing at like me about BABA. I was like, I just don't care at all. I don't care if the stock dropped. But that's how you know if you're going to be a successful investor. Is if you really did your due diligence and you believe in the company and you believe your assumptions are good, it doesn't matter. Go enjoy your life. Go hang out with your family or something. Why?
Well, it's an appeal to authority. But like all of these morons that started investing like 3 weeks ago, do you think Charlie Munger gives a crap about your opinion?
Oh, Charlie Munger definitely does not. He's a ball.
Charlie Munger gives no Fs. Like none whatsoever. That's why I love the Berkshire Hathaway annual meeting, because I love listening to Charlie Munger talk about Bitcoin and call it turds.
Oh, dude, the things he said about Robinhood and Bitcoin, I love it, man. He just that's my life goal. I want to be like Charlie Munger when I'm old. Baba's a good. I'm already old right now. I'm 32. Baba's a good buy. FOMO. Baba's not a FOMO buy right now. I'll tell you that. Corsair's still overvalued. Sales will decline because of supply, and profit will crash. That's totally legit. I think Jeremy's in for a little butt pounding over the next couple of years.
Oh, he definitely is, especially when let's talk about Tesla again. Let's say Tesla let's say Tesla hits all the hype that everybody talks about. Well, all that's already baked in. You're not going anywhere from an $800 stock.
Dude, it's at $850 right now. This stock has been running.
Yeah, you're not going anywhere from here. That's actually justifiable. I don't know. Tomorrow, Tesla could be worth $100,000 a share. And then you'll say, CJ Nagy, you're a moron. It's worth $100,000 a share. And I'll go, yeah, but their free cash flows don't justify their market cap.
Yeah, it's up 13% in the last month. It's like $834 billion market cap.
And then here's the thing. I heard through a little birdie that Kathy Woods is unwinding her stake in Tesla. I don't know if that's true.
Probably smart. I would do that. I mean, if I was one of those YouTubers that bought Tesla, like solving the truck stop problem and chicken butt crack, dude, I would be selling that Tesla so fast it wouldn't even be funny.
Yeah.
How to choose a world ETF for DCA. VT. It's a Vanguard Total World Stock Market Index ETF. Oh, here we go. Buy okay. Not financial advice. Pumping VT is the one thing I'm not worried about getting in trouble for. You're not licensed. It's like, okay, I told you to buy every company in the world and hold it for
dude. What would the SEC really do to you when you're in a meeting? So you told people to buy the entire world market. What were you thinking?
Are you mad? You should have told them to buy Tesla. I think I was wrong about Tesla. Tesla will dominate the world. Bitcoin replace all currency. That's why we're all still going up. Exactly. 100%, guys. It's the future, bro. I'm on T212. I think it doesn't give me the option to buy VT. Oh. What the hell is T212? T212.
What is that? Let's see if we can figure out something.
212. Oh, he's English. Are you English,
okay.
mate? Yeah, I need to actually do a video on like best foreign ETFs for VT equivalents. It's weird. Like foreigners, they can't buy VT for some reason. I don't know. It's weird.
Can you buy VTI? Because if you can buy VTI, you might be able to do like a kind of backdoor approach to it where you're like 60% VTI, and then you could add in maybe a couple of different ETFs to approximate VT.
I don't think I buy any of the Vanguard ones. It's like really weird. I need to look into it. I'm sorry, I'm an American, guys. Okay, I don't really worry about foreigners too much, but I'll look into it. Okay, if you pay me $500, I'll do it. You don't understand growth companies? Like, yeah, I don't understand growth. I'm just a freaking idiot. I would check Boglehead.
Bro.
Actually, there is if you go to bogleheads.org, they have international there. Go ahead.
Yeah, but as far as like not understanding growth is what you pay for. That's all you're paying for. You're paying for growth and the dividends.
Yeah, we're morons. What do you think about oil? I've been buying BP. I mean, I haven't looked at oil, but oil's probably
last year. Chris and I were talking about this, and I regret it. I was sitting there with like $2,000, and I was like this, like a little kid, going, "I should buy Chevron." Chevron is up 2x over the past year.
Yeah,
I was
oil. It's like oil's not going anywhere. Everybody's dumping on oil because it's dirty and nasty, but it's not going anywhere. I mean, we still need freaking oil. So, I mean, like from an initial assessment, not looking at anything, my initial thought would be, okay, maybe it's not bad, but you actually have to look into it more. Let's see. Tesla. Tesla had earnings in October. That's why it's up so much. Oh, see, that's what I don't get. It's like the earnings go up, the revenue goes up, and people act like, oh my God, the earnings went up, therefore the stock must go up. That doesn't make sense because the earnings are already priced into the stock price. People already did the projections on all this. That's why the stock price is where it's at, because they've already priced in the earnings. People don't freaking get it. They think if the earnings are going to go up by 20%, then the stock has to go up by 20%. It's not how it freaking works.
Yeah, keep going. I'm looking something up.
Hey, can I join Jay? I mean, I'm about to cut it out, man. You can come on next time. If you guys want another person I can join up talk finance, this is Nathan. You came too late.
Oh, yeah. You can come on next weekend, dude. I mean, we got I don't know. How much longer do you want to go? Do you want to go 2 hours?
Minutes. My wife wants to go for a walk and stuff like that. So.
Okay. No worries.
Popular YouTube channel, Scotty Kilmer, about how Tesla isn't very – yeah. I need to react. You should do a react.
Dude, it's not – Scotty Kilmer. I'm going to write that down. Hold on a second. Keep going, dude.
Okay. Walmart has more employees than my country's citizens.
So,
if my kids sell lemonade, can I use that as earned income and get them a custodial Roth IRA? I mean, initial assessment, I would say yes, but I would need to look into that a little bit more. I mean, that's the only requirement is that you have an earned income. If you don't have an earned income, you can't contribute to an IRA. So initial assessment, yes, but of course, who knows with freaking precedents or whatever. I'd have to look into it. That's the thing with tax laws. It's all freaking random. In Walmart, you might burn your retinas and a dozen seeing full shelves.
Okay.
There's not full shelves of Tattooed Chef.
So here you go. Tesla's free cash flow recently it's about 2.6 billion, right? So if you do that, you do a market cap, it's about a $52 billion market cap for Tesla that's justified. And I mean, right now they have their market cap is.
Oh, Tesla like 800.
Their market cap is $844 billion, which means
crazy nuts.
Which means they need to do $42 billion a year in free cash flow. They're nowhere near that. And that's just a quick way. That's not, I go buy the stock because I ran the multiple of 20 on it. You can use a multiple of 15. These companies can and do fluctuate where they're selling versus free cash flow. But to say, well, it's going to grow so much, it's going to come down. This is the problem with Tesla. If you were arguing with me when Tesla was $200 a share, I would probably shut up. But it's not there. It's just, I don't know what to tell people. If you want to buy it, buy it. I'm not touching it.
I'm going to say, don't freaking buy it. It is massively, insanely overvalued. Like, it's vomit-inducing how overvalued that stock is. Ew, Walmart is bad. It has low margins. Buy Apple. See, here's the thing. It's not even about the margins. It's about what you pay for the earnings. So if you can project that Walmart's going to have 2%, 3% going forward, and you can figure out how much you want to pay for those earnings, you can still make money. It's about what you pay for the earnings, regardless of what the margins are.
Also, understand this. If I had to disappear to an island for 20 years and I could only buy one stock, I'm going to do a whole lot of research. So I'm not married to just buying Walmart. Microsoft might be in there.
You wouldn't buy Walmart, Jay? Come on.
Possible. Well, it depends. If Microsoft is selling for cheaper, I'm going to buy Microsoft. Microsoft's going to be here in 20 years.
Wouldn't it be funny if you bought Tesla and then you come back in 20 years and it's like a fifth of the price it is right now?
Wouldn't surprise me, dude.
It's like, oh my God. Costco, they are worth half as much with 20% of the revenue. They're probably way overvalued. 40 PE ratio for Costco. Woo!
That's a Charlie Munger stock right there.
Yeah. I have FZILX. Yeah. And that, okay, these are the zero funds from Fidelity, I believe. Basically, yeah. As long as you have it in about a 60%, 40% ratio, maybe 55-45. Yeah, that's basically VT. You can construct VT with anything.
And what's sick is you have a 0% expense ratio on there. And even though like VT has what, 0.06 or 0.08, even that little bit is going to add up over like a long enough time period, a surprising amount.
Yeah, I mean, basically the lower the expense, the better, obviously. Nope, not English. Cyprus. Ooh.
Ooh, all right.
Let's see. Backdoor approach Uranus. Yeah, no, non-U.S. investors can't buy U.S. domiciled funds. Yeah, I need to really learn more about that. That's one of my weak points, okay? I don't know crap about Ford crap. I can give you 3 cents to check it. 3 cents! How about 3 Bitcoin cents? How much is that worth?
$180,000.
I can buy VT, but I pay 1.5%. Ooh! Yeah.
Whoa, dude. No.
Don't do that.
That's what I need to look at. Some walk the wife.
I have a big stroller for her.
Baby. She's holding the baby while you're pushing her and the baby in the stroller.
That's how I get my workout. My legs are like tree trunks. In my business, there's only so many options of VT. They've got basic things like, do you have a Vanguard target retirement fund? Because usually a lot of those have target retirement funds. If that's your only option for index funds, really not a bad deal, because target retirement funds from Vanguard, they're basically VT, they're total world stock, but they have a total world bond component, basically. So if that's your only option, I'd maybe look into a target retirement fund. Price to sales of 20 plus. What is this? I don't know. What stock is that for? Hippo seems attractive. Oh my God. Go watch my Hippo video. Is this the guy that always does the jokes?
I think so. Yeah, it is.
Hippo is hot garbage. Berkshire is the one stock I would buy when Warren Buffett dies. I'm going all in.
Oh, bro. If Warren Buffett or Charlie Munger dies tomorrow, Berkshire is going to become so irrationally undervalued.
I know, dude. That's a banger right there. Buy WVCE instead of VT. It's in euro. Yeah, maybe that's the VT of you foreigners. The WVCT ETF. Isn't it? Vanguard FT. Hold on a minute. Yeah, I'd have to look into it. It probably is. I trust him. $0 equals 3 Bitcoins. Woo. Jay, just emailed Scotty Kilmer link to you. He had a bunch of videos, so I wanted to make sure you had the right one.
Okay.
Do it, Jay. Reaction. You need to react to Jeremy LaFou, or no, was it Jeremy? No, was it Jeremy or Chicken Butt Crack we were talking about? And then you can do Scotty Kilmer.
Let's see, must make sure that I got it right in here. Yep, Scotty Kilmer.
Scotty Kilmer.
Anyway, that's all the comments. Any last words, Jay?
No.
Cool.
You gotta you and the wife going for a walk, get some sunshine. Huh?
Yeah, I have to walk the wife. I'm gonna put her in her stroller.
It happens, dude.
Yeah, it happens. You know, that's how you build those legs. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe to Jay Nagy. Okay, see him right here. See that cute little smile. Don't you want to see that more often? That's right. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a wonderful day.
All right, man. I'll hit you up during the week.
Yeah, I want to see some videos, Jay. Let's go.
I'll do some today. Last night I was just too tired, dude. by the end of the week, man, a lot of times I'm drained. That's why you'll see me rapidly put out a bunch of videos and then they just start dwindling as the end of the week comes because I'm like, I don't even want to put a description in there. Like, I'm just too tired.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, I work from home, so I'm not that tired. But anyway, all right, man. I'll talk to you later.
All right, buddy. All right. See you guys.
Cheers.